Mia cucina in Italian means my kitchen. E la prima cosa che dobbiamo fare è prendere il fadale. The first thing that we need to do is to put on the apron. And today I have a deliciousness. You know, the holidays are coming, the weather is changing, and you know, we want to bake. And this, a cookie, is a cookie that I created. It is a gluten-free spiced almond walnut cookie. And it is delicious. And it all starts with 2 1/4 cups of gluten-free flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 packed cup of brown sugar. This is what I have on my mixer. I am going to be utilizing 2 sticks of softened butter. The butter has to be softened. I'm also going to be right back because I am going to be utilizing 2 eggs. I'm also going to be utilizing, I'm coming. I just wanted to keep it nice and cool. And I'm going to be utilizing 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. I also have here 1 tablespoon of molasses, 2 tablespoons of buttermilk, because the buttermilk does something special to this deliciousness of cookie. I'm also going to be utilizing a half a cup each of chopped walnuts and also chopped almonds. And what I have is, I have chopped the walnuts nice and large because I like to crunch on the cookie, and I do have sliced almonds. Now for the spice part, I am going to utilize 2 teaspoons each of ginger, coriander, allspice. And now here comes the deliciousness, and I love cinnamon and I love cloves. So I'm using 1 tablespoon of each. If you don't want it that spicy, trust me, you have 2 1/4 cups of flour here, gluten-free. And you really need, if you really want a good spicy cookie, and it's not burning spice, your entire house will smell like a pumpkin or an apple pie. And I'm also utilizing a half a teaspoon of salt. So what I want to do is I want to get I like, you know, to break down pretty much, because sometimes, you know, the brown sugar, and I'm using light brown sugar, and I'm only use 1 packed cup brown sugar. To that, I am going to be adding my 2 softened butter, 2 sticks of softened butter. And what I like to do, guys, is I'm going to get a butter knife, and I like to just add a little bit at a time, because I really want it to be incorporated. Right now I'm going slow, because what we want to do is we want to cream these guys together. I'm also going to be utilizing a teaspoon of wonderful vanilla extract. So I'm just going to do it like you know, like a tablespoon at a time. I am done with that. Get that out of the way. Going to the next one. And as you can see, it's coming together, and that's exactly what I want. And then I'm going to turn it up a little bit higher. So there goes my 2 tablespoons of very softened butter. There we go. 2 entire sticks. And everything I'm utilizing is certified organic. And that's my preference, because I don't want any pesticides and I don't want any additives. Give yourself one of these to kind of wipe your hands. Now I am just going to, you know, put this on on a medium. Now I'm going to stop it. I'm going to pull this up, because what I want to do is I want to get the rest of everybody because you know we really want the butter with the brown sugar. Again, I'm using light brown sugar. I don't like dark brown sugar, but if you like brown sugar, you're more than welcome to do that. And I'm going to walk you step by step with this. Okay, so now I'm going to let this do its thing. While it's doing its thing, what I have here is 2/4 cups of gluten-free flour. I have it on a sifter. So I'm just going to sift a little bit of this. Now to this, remember, I am going to be adding my 2 teaspoons of each of ginger, coriander, allspice, and then my 1 tablespoon of ground cloves and cinnamon. That's going to go right in here like so. I'm done with that. Put that out of the way. I'm going to add my salt. You remember that the 1/2 teaspoon of salt also goes in there. And I'm just going to start mixing it a little bit to get it all done in there. And then now I'm going to add my 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and my teaspoon of baking soda. That is going to go all in there like so. Now that this is nice and getting where it needs to be, if I can get this open, I am going to add to this 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That goes in there like so. Very easy transaction, guys. Very easy transaction. I'm done with that. Now I'm going to stop this. I'm going to lift this up. And remember, the butter has to be soft. So what I do is I take it out. You know, right now it's very early in the morning. It's about 10 a.m. So I got up at 7 this morning. So I took it out at 7 so it'll be nice and soft for me to use. Okay, now that this is doing its thing here, now what I am going to add to this is that I have my 2 wonderful, remember I told you about the buttermilk, my 2 tablespoons of buttermilk, and also my 1 tablespoon of molasses. And I just want to mix it together like so. Oh yes. It looks like coffee, doesn't it? or like a light chocolate. And this is going to give such a deliciousness. And I want to make sure that I am adding all of that in there. Oh yes. And I want this to really combine together before I add anything else. And we are going to be utilizing 2 large eggs. And the eggs I'm going to be, putting in 1 at a time. Once I get this, guys, to start really mixing. And I really want to get all of this in here. Done with that. Very easy. It's a very easy gluten-free spiced almond walnut cookie. And it's delicious. It goes great with coffee. Now when it's doing that, I am going to stop it again. Because again, I want to mix everything. And I know there's a little bit of stopping, but guess what, guys? It combines everything and it is delicious. Now I have my knife here that I used with my butter earlier, so why not utilize that? Because I want to get everything in this cookie. I don't want to miss a thing in this cookie. So now I am going to be adding 1 egg at a time. Because you really want it to all combine very, very well in there. Then I am going to add the rest of my egg. When it's doing its thing right here, making sure that I get all of, because that's pretty much all of the liquids. Now I want to sift the rest of my flour with my spices. Oh, it really smells wonderful. It smells like a spiced apple pie or your entire house is just going to be wonderfully, it's going to smell so wonderful. And I really love this time of year because this is the time of year that, we get to bake and make all this wonderfulness. Now, even though this is mixed, I still want to even mix it even more with my spoon. I want to make sure that all of my flour is incorporated with all the wonderful spices. Oh, it is wonderful. Oh, I love this. Now, I want to get a big spoon. And what I'm going to start doing is I am just going to be adding 1 spoon at a time. So right now I have it, if you have one of these mixers, I have it on number 4. Because I want all of it to start combining 1 at a time. And I know there's some on the sides, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let me just get everything out of the way because it's going to be time pretty soon for us to get this. My oven is at 375 degrees, and I am going to bake this cookie anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out, and then I'm going to let it cool completely. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do afterwards. So now we continue to do that. Keep adding that. Very easy transaction. I am going to be utilizing a small scoop, not the large scoop, a small scoop. It makes a good 2 to 3 dozen cookies, depending on the size. And all you got to do is scoop it. And they do spread a little bit, not too much. So we are going to be putting, you know, at 2 inches apart. As you can see, this is starting to really do a steam. I'm just going to go a little bit faster right here. And then I'm going to add the rest of my flour. Because what happens when you're working with gluten-free flour, you got to let it get together. You come together. And here we are. Now, I'm going to put it in low, and then I'm just going to lift this, because in that way it'll start putting the rest of that. I'm going to stop this now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. And this is when I come in and I just tap it. Just tap it, tap it, tap it. Because we want all this deliciousness in here. Now, you can, let me get this, there we go, so I can get this off. Now, you can use a paddle or not, but I'm not going to do that because then that's more extra work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here, see like I'm doing right now, and I am going to go ahead and add my almonds, and I'm going to add my walnuts. Very simple transaction. Get this out of the way here, and I'm just going to mix it. Yes, you could use the paddle because you don't want to use this, because what will happen is just going to all, you know, kind of lump together, and we don't want to do that. We just really want to mix these guys. And it's just a little muscle here. Let me get this out of the way so I can be all done with all of that. Because pretty much now the cookie, it's all about baking it. So now what we want to do is we want to get in here. Oh, I love this cookie. And especially, you know, I am gluten sensitive, and this is for those that are gluten sensitive. Now, this is not fat free, and it's not sugar free, but it doesn't have a lot of sugar. Now, if you like a lot more sugar, you can add more sugar, but I don't suggest that. So as you can see now, let me take my knife because I want to take every little bit of this and put it in here. It makes a lot of the batter. This batter does not need to be refrigerated. It can go straight from here to the oven. All right, so then now what I do is I get a nice sheet like so, put some parchment paper, and all we're going to do is we're just going to come over here like that. Then we're going to do another one like so. As you can see, I am giving it some room here because they will spread. Nor I can usually get a good 4 because it's not going to spread. As you can see, I'm going to move it just a little bit this way. So if you were to measure, it's about 2 to 3 inches. So once you get this down, then you know to put it right behind the other. See what I'm doing, guys? Very simple transaction. You know, you can, I mean, if you want to, you can mush them down. I find that I don't really need to do that. So, you know, again, it's you know, it's all your preference. You don't really have to, but if you want to, you can. And we're just going to continue to do this. You know, you have to be a little patient. And I'm telling you, these cookies are delicious. Let me just get this guy a little bit over here. Now, if you were to want to mush them down, I would get my hands wet a little bit. Just wet a little bit. And you just, with your hand, you just mush them down like so. They will spread a little bit. Get this guy over here. You know, you can move him around because this is the time that you can move him around. You know, you can move it, you can press them down just with your hands. And then you're going to put them in the oven. So if you know, if they kind of move around a little bit, you can do that. And then, not to keep you for a long time, because I will continue to do that, and then I'm going to put them in the oven. Then when the cookies will come out, and then what I do is I take powdered sugar, I put it in a regular, you know, one of these guys, and I just tap it. And then what you have is this beautiful gluten-free spiced almond walnut cookies. Look how beautiful they are. And the thing is guys, you can, it's nice and crunchy. You can see the almond in there. You see how lovely that is. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this gluten-free spice almond and walnut cookie. Have a blessed day. God bless every single one of you. God bless. Woo-hoo.